In order for a nation to be prosperous and successful, it needs to have educated citizens.
Regardless of what you want to do, it's your education that will always stay with you.
One single teacher can impact a student for the rest of their lives.
I think a good teacher has a whatever it takes mentality. So it's not about the bell rang and it's 3 o'clock and it's time for me to go home. It's about, did everybody learn today?
It's not about me. It's about all the 26 kids, or the year before it was 27, the year before that it was 28. Whether or not I wasn't feeling well or wasn't particularly excited about what I needed to teach, it wasn't about me, it's about them.
The focus has to be the students. If we lose focus of the students, then we don't need to be here any longer.
It's really easy to say if the parents were doing more, or if all my students knew English, or if I had more of these books. When the excuses stop and you say all of my kids are going to learn, no matter what, an excellent teacher is the person who makes good on that commitment.
I think a lot of times the discussion around education doesn't start with what's best for students in the first place, and then the policies aren't created with that in mind.
And the importance that we place on education right now is just not doing our students justice. You know, our students are suffering on a daily basis because they're not getting what they deserve in the classrooms.
When we have to contract out how many hours a teacher spends, how many hours they get paid for after school if they stay after school, how many hours they're required to be on school premises, that's not putting kids first.
So I think this is the one area we can really help society, and I think right now we have a crisis in education.
The voices of teacher in favor of some of these tough decisions is lost.
It's going to take a hell of a reform, actually. You know, it's going to take some realistic conversations about where we are and where we need to be.
We are raising the next generation. We are raising our next doctors. We're raising our next lawyers. We're raising our next politicians.
If we're not understanding the importance and the urgency of educating the people in this country, where are we going to find ourselves in the future?
A lot of people are taking the steps in the right direction to just become aware of what's going on with their local schools. It does impact them, it does impact their community, and realizing that it is a social issue, it's not just a family issue.
The most important thing that adults can do is advocate, but remember that it's the student that we're advocating for and not ourselves.
A great education is, without question, the biggest fight that I think we're facing, and it's one that I'm willing to fight down to the end.